welcome back to the Banner Saga. It's been a while. I'm going to have a bit of a stretch. Last time out, we made a start in the campaign, and I have no fucking idea what the plot is. We beat up some blokes in a feasting hall for reasons that are as yet undisclosed, and then we agreed to travel home with some arsehole. There was a fight in a car park, and something about renewing the MOT on a 1994 Vauxhall Astra. We'll dive back into it and see if I can't figure out what I'm doing. First though, let's open our coffee. Right, we have 32 Vol, which is the name for the giant dudes, and we are in some village that has a neon sign above its great hall. It's very 1980s looking. I suspect that's where Patrick Swayze went when he died. Let's get the lid on my coffee. I hope you're all having an awesome weekend. We have 100 gold and 14 red. Renown. Okay, we have great morale. And, oh, it's 100 days of supplies, not 100 gold. Okay, I think I'm getting where things are going to be going here. Right, so it seems to me we have to go to the Great Hall. That costs us 1 supply. At dawn you're awoken by a delivery of goods, at least you think it's dawn. Damn hard to tell with a sun that never moves, true facts. The Governor's crest adorns the supply leathers, all there just as promised to your mild surprise. You wonder if Eric had anything to do with it. Your guards take the treasure wagon down to the gates. Vognir is already here. A while later Ludin and his men appear groggy and dishevelled. We gain 20 renown for that, I don't know why. Moger steps forward, Vognir's quartermaster, if you recall correctly. In charge of his unwieldy entourage of warriors. You know him only in passing. He asks if you're ready to depart. We are totally ready, dude. You follow Moger and join the others. Usually the smaller doors set into the gates would be enough to enter or leave the city, but the town guards have been told to push them open entirely. They mutter things under their breath that are best not heard. Perhaps the governor expected you to draw a crowd, but there's nothing of the sort. Just frustrated, tired people. It summarises Strand well as a whole, you think. Alright, so I guess this is where we start to get into the game proper, possibly. Oh cool, there's our little dudes. It is a pretty game, isn't it? It is. Do you like my Rosenborg shirt? I do. Morale declined because it's cold. We've lost some supplies. Do we have any control over this process? Not really, but we're going to Vederfrel. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Moger, cracking open meat casks, from our gracious friend, the Governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as the mead is passed through the camp. I'm going to toast to Vognir. You raise your drink, toasting the allowance between man and Val. The others join in. Ludin's expression is like a stone wall, but the others laugh at your exaggerations. Eventually you sit down beside Vognir. I'm going to chat with Vognir. Thanks for the speech, slurs Vognir. Looks like you didn't have to miss out after all. Thanks to Moger, I thought the damned governor would never shut up. Did he give you the history of his entire family? He tried, then he asked me to clean up his mess. For your benefit, turns out. I'd have given the job to you too. Gods, there's no joy in politics. That's true. Speaking of, what happens after this business with Ludin? I still don't know who the fuck Ludin is. He's the prince, right? Guy. That's kind of an unusual casting. Hopefully the boy goes back to Aberrang on his own and I can take out some frustration on Dredge or something. Starting to sound like Hakon. You don't like the life of a diplomat? Haha, don't you miss the fight, Ubin? Well, not really. I don't know how the fighting works. You down your mead instead of replying. Vognir slouches and shakes his head. There's no great joy in killing Dredge, but pretty sure this nonsense is some scheme between two kings to force some kind of lineage. Used to be warriors would follow you for what you'd done. Isn't that why they follow you now? Is it? Or is it because I'm the next in line? These lines are getting muddy, old Val. They've always been muddy, Vognir. Profound. Vognir stares into the campfire, lost in thought. You leave him to it. That's probably for the best, because I still don't have a fucking clue what's going on. You rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Moga is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up, you nudge, Vognir. You're needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Vognir releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grofheim? We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. Okay, this is the map of the world. I could be wrong here. I could be. But I have to say that if I scroll down here, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but I have to say that at least the lower part of this map looks a little Norway-y. But there seem to be routes rather than borders. We are obviously here, and we are heading to Grofheim, which is up here. So we've got a long way to go. Oh look, there's Silverstone. So we can always stop by for a Grand Prix. I should really reframe my camera so my head doesn't keep going out of shot. I'm a handsome boy. Ah, so actually there's quite a lot of lore here for us to work with. So I guess we're going up by here, past the Hanged Man, and I presume either this route or the longer route along the coast. We head north then east past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand, going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludin. Why not take the ships to Screamierstead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad though, we could have shown you all the wonder of Screamierstead. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge, Prince. Dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Who doesn't like a fucking glacier? Ludin exhales through his nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. It's typical southerner. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthill, Vognir. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off of too. Ludin's got a shorter wick than Haakon. Thanks, Vognir. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vedrefell, if we're lucky. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter the camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. Okay. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using rest. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. High morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. So only rest when necessary. Oh cool, we can practice combat and stuff. Select the hero's tent. One or more of your units is injured. Injured units can still fight but have a penalty to max strength equal to the number of days wounded. They heal as time passes while resting in camp. Ah, okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Bring the pain. The character strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability. Return the favor to return more break. Oh, cool. That's actually really useful. It's for ganging up. So there are 0 points available to upgrade him. Same with Hakon. Same with Ludin. Or Gunnulf. Mogr. Okay, but Gunnulf we need to rest. I'd like to move the Pansy Southerner to the last of the turn order. Hello buddy, how are you doing? I hope you're well. It's been a busy weekend for me so far. I've just put up some Grand Prix World. I'm going to do a Tyrrell playthrough later. I'm streaming Banner Saga now, and it's a Failcast F1 day, so otherwise living the dream. Had quite a good week at work actually, strangely productive. What I'm going to do now, I think, is spend 2 days resting so I don't have that penalty on this dude. Alright, let's see if he's healed up. He is. Good. I'm going to have to make sure I don't fucking mess that up again. I'm still learning how to play this. I really don't know what I'm doing. I've sort of come into it blind and the story's a little hard to follow. I want to get back on the road. Leave. Oh, no, thank you for filling that out, mate. That's really, really helpful. I've got 3 responses already, plus yours now. I'm going to let it run for a few days, but honestly, it's been really hard to gauge. I mean, Grand Prix World always does well, but the other stuff, it's really hard to know. I did find out today, though, that the view on replay numbers... it's fine, there can be a peasant's uprising. I just want to make sure people enjoy what I do, or else it's really sort of not worth it. What's interesting though is that I've noticed a really big spike in the people viewing the Failcast podcast. Like, no one watches it live still really, apart from you and a handful of others, and the people who are sort of Simon's regular viewers. But the last episode got 160 unique views on Viewback, so things are picking up, which is good. It's about striking a balance really between what people want and what I think I can do reasonably entertainingly. So I'm not entirely sure about the Banner Saga, to be honest.
Wedderfell. Even the name means bad weather, where frozen wind sweeps in from the bay. They tend livestock, but most are just men driven from Strand.
No, I'm starting with the first Banner Saga game, and I plan to play through all 3, but I haven't played the Banner Saga before, mate. Or are you talking about something else? Ah, you mean Failcast. Well, our best year actually was 2013. We used to get really, really good views in 2013. It wasn't live back then, but we got great views. And then Simon and I kind of fell out of the rhythm for a few months due to sickness. I was in hospital with pneumonia, and when we came back, the viewers had all abandoned us. And since then, it's been sort of low to middling. It's never really recovered, but it's good to see numbers picking up now. We're doing it live, and we're on Twitch and YouTube. Hopefully that continues. There's a peasant. This is what you warned me about. Peasants causing me grief now. By Harderborg. That's a lot of Val for some missing cattle. You what, mate? A couple days back, sent word to Strand about the cattle. Didn't expect an army. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of feedback that I need, to be honest. Because that was why I came... that's why I came to Twitch, because I didn't used to like the idea of doing Twitch so much, but eventually I realised, like, given the hardware I've got here, it takes forever to edit a video, like forever. And so fortunately I'm at a point now where I can do Grand Prix World in one take. Because initially when I first started YouTubing, it was super weird talking to yourself. You're actually really self-conscious and you worry, like, can my neighbours hear me through the wall? Do I sound like I've gone mad? Whereas now I don't give a fuck. But other stuff, there's a lot of games actually, like particularly Grand Strategy, that I enjoy playing, but have a lot of dead time, and it's really hard to sort of fill. And I've been watching playthroughs of things like Total War Warhammer 2 and Crusader Kings and stuff, and I'm surprised how many people don't bother to edit down the video, because they're quite slow-paced games. Yeah, I see. I love Crusader Kings 2, and Hearts of Iron 4 I'm really bad at. I'm not super well read up on it, but I love it. Crusader Kings 2 I'm definitely going to do again, because now I've got all the DLC. I've just bought a new computer. Two, actually. I've got a... Yeah, I tried the Game of Thrones mod. It used to keep crashing my game, but I think it's been improved since then, so I might give that a blast. I also bought a Surface 2 laptop, and it's dope. It's really, really good, mate. Really good. He looks pleased with himself until it sinks in that you aren't here on his behalf. I'll just skip through, people can read. We've got some cattle rustlers on the horizon. Then I will definitely look into it. I would definitely look into it, because I think that game with the Game of Thrones mod, it was just created for it. I'm still surprised no one's done a really good 40k mod for... Yeah, I mean, the price put me off, actually, and I'm going to go off game for a minute. I actually fell in love with the original Surface laptop at like an airport demo stand. I tried it at Zurich Airport, actually. I was there for work. While I was passing through, I was actually on the way to Vienna, but I had a connecting flight. And I tried it and immediately fell in love with it. And then I googled it and saw the price, and I just couldn't justify it. Whereas now I needed a laptop, particularly for work, because work provide equipment, but they have like really strict corporate regulations, and it means running Python is a nightmare. And technically, if I could provide my own hardware, it's not really a problem. So I got the Surface Laptop 2 in matte black, and it is a masterpiece. It boots so fast, like ridiculously fast. I've spoiled myself because I haven't had a new PC in years, so I've missed out on SSDs and things like that. But the face unlock works super well, so from pressing the power button to actually starting to work is like 3 seconds, 4 seconds. It's mad. I would highly recommend it. It's not great for gaming, and it's got no Thunderbolt port, so I can't put an external GPU on it, but I will update my desktop at some point, because it's a few years old now, and it's quite old hardware, and it runs like arse. They really did, but to be honest, Apple deserved it. I was an Apple customer for a few years, and they really start to take you for granted. And I still have my 27-inch iMac from 2011, and it runs okay, but it developed faults pretty early on. And like the new MacBooks, they just break all the time, particularly the keyboards. And I hated being sort of locked in. Like, you had to do it their way, or you couldn't do it, basically. And I kind of came to resent that. I don't like my devices telling me what I can and can't do. Alright, it seems we're going to be fighting some cattle rustling scaflings. I used to quite like iOS, but after my iPhone 4, I switched to Nokia Android devices, and I haven't looked back. Nokia phones I'm completely in love with. I was on Windows Phone for a bit, that was crap, but since Nokia moved to Android devices, absolutely love them, and I've just upgraded actually. I can show you, it's here in my pocket. I have Nokia 9 PureView, covered in fingerprints. It's the one with the 5 cameras there, and it's the best phone I've ever owned. Battery easily lasts a day, and the camera obviously is amazing. It shoots in RAW format, so I can stick it in Lightroom, and I get really, really good stuff out from when I'm on the road. Really great for landscape photography. Okay, we're trying to buy food. That could go either way, to be honest, mate. The Galaxy Fold, part of me thinks it could be revolutionary, part of me is not sure. Like, I'm the idiot who thought the iPad would never catch on. I just didn't see. But I was right about the Apple Watch and Google Glass, so I'm 2 for 3. Ah, we hear some fighting nearby. Let's go get stuck in then. It's not very Viking to sit on the side. Yeah, me too. It kind of feels like some stuff's being held off while everyone figures out how they feel about Huawei. Oh, this spot has run off on his own. I'm still being tutorialized. Armor blocks attack on strength. For each enemy armor higher than your strength, there is a 10% chance this attack this enemy's strength. Okay. What a dick. So I guess these are supposed to be undeady types. I'm really pleased to see you write that, mate, honestly, because that's pretty much what my wishlist was. I was on the fence about the mods, but those two games were definitely on there. Try and flank this asshole. What does Tempest do again? Oh, it's a spin attack to attack multiple enemies. No, we don't want that. Have to bust his armor. I really need to learn how to play Hearts of Iron 4 though. I might watch some tutorials to get better at it, because I was really enjoying my playthrough as Norway, but I fell into trouble quite quickly because I was just so unfamiliar with the game. Like, I think my strategy was fairly sound. Yeah, but that was kind of the appeal for me. When I try a game for the first time, it's actually my preference to yeah, maybe you're right. See, I was put off playing like the UK and stuff because their empire was too big, and yeah, you're probably correct. I'll have a see. Why can't I use this attack? I don't get it. I have no idea what I'm doing. That would actually be brilliant. Do you know, I'd really like to do that. Yeah, fuck it, why not? Why don't we set that up? And then if I'm crap, I can blame it on you. Right, now I can maybe start doing some damage. Exactly. Oh, that guy's doing something. If you ever watch Eurovision, right, and there's a guy on the stage who's not really doing anything, he's sort of like off to the side quiet, looking a bit weird and mental, you know at some point in the song he's going to do something awesome, and that's what this guy's doing now, waving his sword in the air. I've got a feeling he's going to kill us all. I tell you what, I know Simon loves it, and I actually do watch it. To be fair, I kind of like how crap it is. Yeah, I'm not totally surprised, to be honest. I'm not. Oh, not another one. Fuck off. Yeah, kicked his ass. Can I... What does resting do, apart from rest, obviously? Sounds stupid, that, I know, but doesn't it... Does it mean he heals? I have no idea. Alright. Oh, what does this do? I blew a horn. Nice. It's very Viking. That was accidental. I did it again. Alright, knackered his armour. Now I need to knacker this guy's armour. Stop hitting me! It's not cool. I'm so bad at this. Yeah, eat it. Well, at least I'm learning a little bit about how I play this. The answer is badly. Tell me, did you see, mate, the stuff coming out of Sauber, where they were testing next year's F1 car in the Sauber aerodynamics facility? Looks very cool. Some people say it looks a bit like an IndyCar rip-off, but I'm not totally convinced. Right, we're going to have to do some resting now, because I've fucked it, and all my guys are injured. I have to say, criticising him for trying to get himself killed is a bit rich, coming from a guy who nearly got himself killed. It's up on the official F1 social media and stuff. I think it's on YouTube as well. I tell you what, Sauber do make me happy. They do make me happy. It's so rare for a truly independent outfit to stay at the top level of motorsport for so long with such a level of integrity. And the fact is, you know, that they're able to use their facilities properly now with all the funding coming in, and that F1 is using them as the official test bed. I think that's very cool. Break their armour first. Well, see, I didn't know that either. Bognier's dead. Lame. I don't know if that was supposed to happen or if it's just because I'm incompetent. Oh god, we're not playing as someone else now, are we? The ginger elf woman looks like she's crapped her pants. So you got plans for your weekend, mate? Doing anything pleasant? It's quite a nice day here. I'm tempted to go out for a beer, but I'm a busy boy today. Yeah, I love Civilization as well, but it's another game that that's actually one of the games that you what I find is that people are super perfectionist about playing it, so when you do a let's play of it, all people do is criticise, because if you're not playing it perfectly, and I hate games like that. Like, I used to love the Command & Conquer titles, but people who get into StarCraft are always criticising like how quickly you're building stuff in your build order, and like, oh, but you could optimise this. It's like, I don't play to min-max, I play for enjoyment. Yeah man, get that sleep in. Gotta get it done. Mark Prey. Well, I mean, I've been quite lucky actually with my stuff, because retro F1 fans are pretty chill actually, and they kind of they're sort of a lot friendlier and also I'm actually quite familiar with Grand Prix World, which means it's not like I'm playing it totally incompetently like I do most things. Why am I having trouble doing this? That's why. Yeah, I've it's not even a case of not being competitive necessarily, it's more that I want to enjoy what I'm playing. You know, I spend enough time optimizing stuff in my job. I play to play. I'm getting the hang of this a bit better now. nice. Plus, you know, I'm trying to spend more time playing the games I enjoy rather than the ones that I feel I have to play. It's very rarely I've played stuff where it's kind of like the hot thing right now and that's what everyone's playing. I much prefer to do stuff I actually enjoy. Management games are totally my thing. Grand strategy. Was that a dredge? No, it was the postman. If we hurry, we can gather them before the dredge appear. There's been a kind of a drought for good management games that I've found. I've been dabbling with some things. Yeah, Capitalism 2. I've been trying to find something new. I played a little bit of Smartphone Tycoon, and I liked it for about 5 minutes, and then realised that the game was hollow. There was nothing to it. And then most management games that I stumble across at the moment are so simplistic and they just don't give me no satisfaction to play. Pro Cycling Manager. And it's good? You'd recommend it? See, I was always big onto the Football Manager games. I've never been big on cycling, to be honest, but I used to love Football Manager. I had to give it up, though, because it's like crack. You know, you'd come home after work on a Friday and wake up Sunday morning with the laptop still on. Well, I mean, to me, I kind of like the mechanics of it more than the subject matter.
More between the trees as we approach our home, and the lead grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
I wish the game always had voice acting, then I didn't have to read out the dialogue. That would be cool. I see, yeah, everyone's got a Football Manager story, man. Everyone's got one, and that's what I love about it. I've got a friend here, actually, who's a big Sheffield Wednesday fan, and he likes to play through until Sheffield Wednesday, like, name a stadium after him or something. You know, he, like, goes all the way through to Champions League and so on. He's really good at it, though. I'm not so great. For me, I'm a really bad football tactician. I've never heard of Anstros. I will have to look into this, because also I enjoy 90s games. For me, actually, before Football Manager became Football Manager, back when it was Championship Manager, I used to love Championship Manager 98. For a long time I thought that was the best version of the game. So the Dredge are emerging from the forests and attacking the village. I don't know what the right thing to do is here. I wasn't even paying attention. I'll send her away. Alright, so we have to hold them off, which is probably going to be quite hard because I'm so bad. I saw a video recommendation of that, but I haven't got down to watching the video yet. So, have you tried it? Trigby sounds like a badass. See, I thought about doing Tropico as well, because Tropico I wasn't terrible at, but the newer Tropico games seem a little off-putting to me somehow. Okay. He's got a ring there, I don't know what that means. Oh, items. Oh, I love the Anno games. I haven't seen anything of Anno 1800. If my PC can run it, that's definitely going on the list. I played the one before last a lot, and that was it 2048? The one where you've got to balance the environment and stuff, and I loved it. I really loved that version. And then the one came after was, I think, 2204, the one where you can build on the moon, and I wasn't such a fan of that one. But yeah, lay it on me. Tell me about this new one. That's good. That's good. I played one in the late 90s that I really captured my imagination. I think it was like 1500 something. Yeah, see, I need that. I need something. I need complicated supply chains and stuff to keep me entertained. I don't like it where you can just set it up and it runs itself. You know, I need to have something to always be striving towards. That's why I love XCOM so much, because XCOM just fucks you all the time, and there's always something to be pushing forward on. Right. How am I best going to deploy my guys here? Right, we're going in hardcore. I love City Skylines, but what I found is that I am very, very shit at city design. I have this vision in my head and I was never artistically gifted. And I've never been able to build what I see in my head. Alright, just gonna gang up on this motherfucker. Okay, that sucks. Yeah, I'm not actually too bad at managing my budget. What I more struggle with is what I struggle with is definitely keeping a coherent design for the city first of all, and like specializing it to a sufficient degree. I don't know. City Builders have always been one of those games that I really like the idea of, but I'm actually quite bad at in practice. That's something I found actually with modern gaming, is that the games I always dreamed about as a kid are now a reality, and I find that I didn't want them actually because now I don't have the time to play them. I'm glad they're not ganging up on that guy anymore. But this dude's gonna get shafted if I'm not careful. That's a good point, actually. But to be fair, I first started playing that game like 20 years ago, and it was I had no understanding at all of what I was doing. The guy with the spear is fucking badass. Yeah, that's true, we do. I tend to find actually that I hold myself to a higher expectation now when I come into games. That I kind of want to feel like I've mastered them in a way that I didn't before. I think the game's trying to tell me that I'm shit by suggesting that I lower the difficulty. No, I'm sticking to it. I'm playing on normal, even if it kills me, which it probably will. Oh, I've got a message from Simon. What's Simon saying to me? Just confirming that we're on for the failcast in a little bit. Taking stock of your handiwork, I think I'll stick with you, lad, says String V, unless you've got other ideas. Either grunt something non-committal. Also true, you kind of feel like you should have transferable skills between all the games you've played, so you can say that you haven't wasted your life. A black horde is forming at the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back. Then adds Rook. I'm doing one more check of the houses around here, see if you can find anyone. You're lucky to escape the notice of more dredge on the way back. You can see them rummaging through homes, tearing the buildings apart. If you're going to look for more survivors, you make a note to do it quickly. That's true. I mean, there's a lot more variety in the way things work, but I don't want to sound like a grumpy old man here, but don't you find, like, back in the day, so to speak, you bought a game and the game was complete and you didn't have to worry about DLC and like add-on packs really added something. And the game that you bought was deep and complex enough and paced just right that you would get like plenty of hours out of it without becoming bored. And I don't know if I'm overstimulated now by all the choice out there, or it frustrates me that the games don't feel as deep and engaging as they used to. I mean, there are some games out there, of course. I've been looking into Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I hear two sides of the story of that. Like, either it's a really rewarding experience or it's a really fucking frustrating experience, and I don't really know if I have the time to get the best out of it. True, if a game was broken, it was broken forever, pretty much. There was one or two games on my old Master System and Mega Drive that had problems like that. But that was also part of the fun, because you used to be able to rent games from the video store. And used to remember that I used to get £2 every Friday from my mum to go and rent a video game. And that would make or break my weekend. Like, you'd spend ages reading the back of all the boxes trying to get a handle on it. But there are some games from the 90s that I still truly love. Like the original F1 game, complete with Murray Walker commentary. I used to love the Sonic the Hedgehog games. I went through a real Sonic phase when I was a kid. Yeah, I don't know, because like stuff like GTA 5, that's a game I would have dreamed of as a kid, but as an adult, I just find the idea exhausting. And I start to miss. I don't want total linearity in my games. I like to be able to tell a story, but I do like there to be some impetus. I don't like games that are just pure sandbox. Because, you know, telling me, oh, you could do this challenge, that doesn't really motivate me to do it. I want to feel like I'm developing something. And again, that's part of the reason why I love XCOM, because XCOM is that mixture between linearity and sandbox, because you pick and choose your missions. There's a lot of choices you make that have impact in a non-contrived way, like an organic way. Like what you choose to research actually affects how the game plays out. So there's consequences for your action, but you still have an overriding motive. Like, you have an end goal that's kind of dictated to you, but in a way that's appealing. And I find that's missing from a lot of games now. Right, what's going to happen now is I'm going to take a break for a bit. I'm going to go grab myself some lunch, because it's 1:05. Simon and I are live in about 4 hours. So I'm going to go pick up some groceries, do some things, relax a little bit, and then I will be back live at 5 PM European time, 4 PM UK time for another Failcast F1. I won last time out. I'm king of the hill. Yeah, I mean, exactly. A lot of developers felt games had to be a sandbox just because that was the in thing, but often it doesn't actually add anything to the game. It detracts from it. I think that kind of sucks. Anyway, mate, I'm going to let you take a break as well. Maybe you want to catch a nap, and hopefully, I don't know how your day's looking, but maybe we'll see you later. Thanks for stopping in. It's been good to chat. Take care.